INEC gets set to conduct FCT area council elections into the 6 area councils and 62 wards in the FCT. Residents are expected to know that governance at that level will affect them post-election. Today's Panorama, we're looking at responsibilities of electorate and political parties towards successful FCT area council elections. Plus, Adamawa State today prepares for presidential visit, and we'll bring you sports and other reports. Thank you for joining us. This is Panorama. I'm Ruth Aguwele. President Bola Tinubu this Monday will pay an official visit to Adamawa State. During the one-day visit, he will inaugurate completed projects, meet with top government officials and traditional rulers. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, indicates that projects billed for inauguration on the capital, Yola and Jimeta, is the 8-lane Galadima Aminu Road linking Yamba and the capital. The model school, comprising pre-primary, primary and junior secondary classes, will also be inaugurated by the President. Others include the new multi-purpose hall, remodeled High Court, newly built offices complex and the renovated government house. The President will return to Abuja after the inauguration and interaction with indigents of the state. The renewed Hope Livestock Transformation Drive has received another boost with the provision of critical infrastructure to support sustainable livestock production, expand trade and strengthen investor confidence. Minister of Livestock Development, Dr. Idi Mukhtar Meha, stated this while performing the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of an international cattle market in Meha local government area of Adamawa State. Yusuf Jika will tell us more.
A border town between Nigeria and Cameroon is home to viable livestock breeds, with residents leveraging the trait as a major source of livelihood. While performing the groundbreaking ceremony for the international cattle market, Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Meha, said the strategic location of the market, supported by designated resting and watering points along livestock routes, will boost trade capacity, increase revenue generation and strengthen resilience across the livestock value chain.
Go online, see a bull here in Maha Emirate. Look on that bull, pay for it, and it will be delivered to you in Abuja. We are going to do online trading of animals, and this center is going to be part of the features that you are going to have on that online platform for trade of livestock in this country.
We are very happy. We want to commend the effort of the federal government through the Federal Ministry of Livestock and Development.
With this project specifically in place, I believe the percentage of the GDP is going to rise seriously.
The minister also inaugurated a state-of-the-art livestock productivity and resilience support project, El-Pres Model Veterinary Hospital in Maiha, complete with ambulatory services aimed at strengthening animal health systems in the area.
And as a project, we will continue to move on the project development objective of improving productivity, commercialization, and resilience of livestock value chain.
It is a state-of-the-art facility that you could do surgery here, you could do all kinds of interventions in healthcare.
In Mubi, the minister inspected solar-powered boreholes and upgraded drainage systems at the cattle market, promising additional interventions to fast-track development in line with the renewed hope agenda. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
The federal government says it is aware of recent video claiming that the new tax laws will commence in 2027 and alleging the imposition of a 25% tax on funds for building materials and other transactions. In a statement, the federal government says, contrary to the misinformation seeking to create fear, panic and disaffection, the Nigeria Tax Act 2025 has already commenced and does not impose a 25% tax on construction funds, bank balances or business expenses. Instead, it contains provisions specifically designed to reduce the cost of housing, rent and real estate development. Let's look at the judiciary. An adage that says justice delayed is justice denied, with a backlog of land or family disputes lingering at various courts across the country. The body of Attorney General of State is tapping the expertise of Hague Institute of Innovation and Law to decentralize the justice delivery process. The aim, they say, is to ensure that justice is brought closer to the populace. Among suggestions for implementation at their meeting in Abuja is the use of the multi-door courthouses.
Almost all the 36 states have created a paradigm shift from retributive justice system we had to restorative justice system we now have.
We try to institutionalize peace-building commissions across, the states. We started with the 3 pilot states, with Plateau, Kaduna, and Adamawa, where it's been put the peace-building commissions are functioning in existence.
What Hill has done with people-centered justice, we made it tangible. So we're hoping that the attorneys will go back to their various states, customize it.
The 2025 Nationwide Justice Needs and Satisfaction Survey, which recommends mediation involving community leaders' inputs. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has adjourned the suit seeking to stop a former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi from contesting in the 2027 presidential election. The suit has been filed by the Incorporated Trustees of National Forum of Former Legislators and is praying the court from stopping the 2 political stalwarts from the 2027 contest. The forum, which joined INEC in the suit, is urging the court to stop the commission, including the names of Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi on the ballot paper. The complaint is to give reasons for filing the suit when the case comes up on the 21st of February 2026. Let's flip to other issues. The Cross River State government is calling on citizens to support President Bola Tinubu's 2027 re-election bid, citing his impactful leadership and transformative projects. Well, this was at a meeting of the Renewed Hope ambassadors in Calabar. Justina Etienne reports.
The Renewed Hope ambassadors, a movement tasked with promoting awareness of federal government development programs and policies, aims to boost citizen engagement in governance. At a meeting, Chief of Staff to the Cross River State Governor, Emmanuel Ayonba, charges coordinators to work closely with local government chairmen to drive the group's objectives, emphasizing effective collaboration for success.
Let me also use the opportunity to tell you that Mr. President has approved the deep sea port project of Cross River State, which in a couple of days or weeks we'll be looking at the groundbreaking. And economically, a lot has happened.
This entire book, portrays what the president has done from various roads that are being constructed: the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, the Enugu-Onitsha Highway, the new access road to the River Niger bridgehead, the NEFON school loans, all the efforts in the energy sector. So our coordinators are going to circulate this. So you see, and seeing is believing.
The local government coordinators assured they will deliver on the mandates. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NT.
All right. Thank you for staying with us. The Independent National Electoral Commission is conducting the FCT Area Council elections, and this is coming up on Saturday, 21st February 2026. Now, this election is expected to usher in chairmen for the 6 area councils with councillors for the 62 wards in the FCT. INEC urges residents living within the FCT to fully participate in the activities leading to the election proper, from campaigns of political parties, identifying suitable candidates to vote for, among others. Also, the electoral umpire reminds voters to remember that governance at the area councils will be directly responsible for the day-to-day basic services that affect residents in the FCT. Hence, the need for residents to participate fully in the voting process. So we have a guest in the studio who will be speaking to these issues, especially responsibilities and of electorate and, of course, how political parties are expected to conduct themselves. We have Faith Nwadishi. She's a member of the Civil Society and Human Rights Advocate. Thank you for joining us, Nwadishi.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Okay, so it's just a few days to the FCT Area Council election, and of course we know when there's a build-up to election, there's a lot of preparation that should be put in place. But more importantly is for the citizens, talking about the electorate, to be prepared to elect people that will serve them better. What do you make of all of this?
Thank you very much. And I want to agree with the electoral umpire that said that the election at the local government area is one of the very important elections. But most times, Nigerians don't see that the local government election is very important. Everybody's looking at the national election. They're concerned about the president. Sometimes you go to local government areas, they don't even know the name of their local government chairperson, but they know the name of the president. So we need citizens to really know that governance is closer to them at the local government level, even though the Constitution prescribed that the election that holds at the area councils in Abuja is likened to the election that holds for governorship, because the population of voters in Abuja, for instance, which is over 1.68 million, is actually more than the population of voters in Ekiti and Bayelsa State. So it's important that people in the FCT, indigenous and non-indigenous, people in the FCT take this election very, very seriously. If the markets are not working, it's because at the local government level, it is not working. So it's important. And one of the very first things that citizens should do is actually voter registration. Now, the voter registration for the FCT is closed because the election is on Saturday. Yeah. But if you have registered and you have collected your PVC, the next thing to do is to find out where you will be voting. And discovering your polling unit. For instance, in Abuja, you have 6 area councils that are likened to local government areas. You have 62 wards, and you have 2,822 polling units where election will be happening. But out of those 2,822 polling units where election will be happening on Saturday, 4 of those polling units there will not be election because there are no registered voters there. Remember that some years ago, INEC had to decongest most of the polling units so that people can have access to the polling unit. 3 of those polling units are in Gariki and 1 is in Jiwa. So those 4 polling units will not have voting happen there because there are no registered voters. So if you're a registered voter and you have collected your PVC, you should go online, voters.inecnigeria.org, put in either use your surname or use your VIN to find out where you'll be voting on Saturday. That's very important. Instead of waking up and roaming around to find where you'll be voting on Saturday.
Roaming, the election, the voting hour would have elapsed.
Because of restricted movement on Saturday.
Okay, so Faith, I'd like to get your perspective from the electoral umpire. Voter education is always crucial. Sometimes this voter apathy is also linked to people being disenfranchised because they don't really know the rudiments of how things are expected to play. By this time, it's not even the first time we're having elections like this, but by this time there should be education, you know, on what people should do, how they should go about it. You've talked about finding the right polling unit where you registered. What do you make of that?
That's very true, and it's quite unfortunate. Though we were able to do voter education in collaboration with INEC and some other organizations. But you see, voter education should actually be the primary responsibility of political parties. But political parties don't do voter education. They rely on INEC or National Registration Agency.
Or civil society.
Or civil society to do the voter education. That's quite unfortunate. Because at the end of the day, like I say, every time, the beneficiaries of the outcome of any electoral process is the political class. And again, you see that the kind of campaigns we used to have in the past, we no longer have that. And that's a concern for me, because even when we went out to do voter education, citizens were asking us for money. They were asking us to give them money before they could talk to us. We're only just letting them know that, oh, there's going to be an election in the FCT on February 21st. Some of them didn't even know that there's going to be an election in the FCT, but we're able to raise the consciousness and build that awareness among citizens. So it's important for people to know civic education is the responsibility of the National Orientation Agency, and also it's within the arts for INEC to do voter education. But I want to see a greater collaboration between INEC and National Orientation Agency in carrying out civic education for people, so that as people turn 18, that 18 is the year, I call it the magic year, that you take on your first responsibility. And it is your responsibility to get registered. You know, when you are giving birth to as a child, your parents give you your birth certificate. It's the responsibility of your parents to give you birth certificate. But as soon as you turn 18, it becomes your responsibility to register, so that you participate in the electoral process that brings about leaders that lead us within the time frame of governance.
Okay, Faith, and of course they shouldn't be vote buying. I'm sure that's part of the campaign you've been carrying out, because if you're going to sensitize people on what to do and they're asking for money, you can just imagine what will happen. But let's leave the conversation there and we'll just monitor as things unfold come Saturday. Thank you very much for coming on Panorama.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And keep up the good work. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says it has completed repair work and restored the Shiroro-Mando Transmission Line 1, which is currently operational. A statement by the General Manager, Public Affairs, Ndidi Mba, says, with the restoration of Line 1, bulk power supply to Kaduna electricity has improved, and power supply constraints previously experienced in Kaduna have been resolved. Repair works are ongoing on the 330 kV Shiroro-Mando Transmission Line 1, with restoration expected soon. This, TCN says, it will further strengthen network redundancy and the overall system reliability. A joint special operation comprising military, paramilitary and vigilante security personnel has successfully neutralized 3 major bandit camps in Kogi State. The State Security Advisor, Commander Jerry Omodara, says the camps operated by a notorious bandits leader, Kachala Babangida, were bombarded with superior firepower, leading to the neutralization of scores of bandits through coordinated airstrikes and ground engagements, while kidnapped victims were rescued. The security advisor says the state government has moved the rescued victims to medical facilities for treatment and be reunited with their families. In a renewed drive to deepen grassroots development and strengthen inclusive governance, Governor Umar Namadi has inaugurated key infrastructural and religious projects in Gwiwa local government area of Jigawa State. Mohammed Musa Askira will tell us.
The project commissions include a newly constructed local education authority office complex, a modern city gate and a Central Friday mosque, all strategically designed to enhance administrative efficiency, beautify the town and promote spiritual growth among residents. Governor Umar Namadi was accompanied by the Emir of Kazore, Najib Hussaini Adamu, alongside other top government officials and community leaders. Speaking during the ceremony, the governor commended the Gwiwa local government chairman for demonstrating inspiring leadership qualities worthy of emulation, describing the project as a clear evidence of purposeful governance at the grassroots. Addressing residents shortly after the commissioning prayers at the Central Friday Mosque, Governor Namadi called on the people of Gwiwa and the entire Jigawa state to continue supporting and praying for their leaders. He emphasized that meaningful development can only be achieved through unity, cooperation, and collective responsibility. The governor further urged the community to utilize the mosque not only for the 5 daily obligatory prayers, but also as a center for moral guidance, peaceful conflict resolution, and community development initiative.
And the construction of drainage to avoid flooding. These are all projects that are done for the benefit of the people of Gwiwa local government. So I'm really happy today that today has been a very good day for me. At least I have commissioned projects that will improve the life and livelihood of our people.
Stakeholders said the inauguration of the projects underscores the Jigawa state government's commitments to inclusive growth and sustainable development across all local government areas in the state. In Duty, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
More women in Nasarawa State are being targeted in the outgrower scheme of the new cassava processing plant to boost food production and increase women participation in agro-processing. Governor Abdullahi Sule, who performed the groundbreaking ceremony for the cassava and pack, taxed the investors on value addition for the local community.
The cassava processing plant has the capacity to process hundreds of tons of cassava. 30 billion naira is to be injected in the project, which will be in phases. At the groundbreaking of the project in Kokona local government area, Governor Abdullah Isle reiterates the commitment of his administration to boosting food production. He tasked the investors to carry the community along, even as he urged the host community to promote peaceful coexistence.
I'm happy you pick Outgrower Scheme as part of your project, and you have given women 80% of what is happening here, and that means a lot to us.
Managing director of the company says the multi-billion naira agro project will create jobs for the teeming populace in the state under its Outgrower Scheme.
But the bigger vision is clear and stretches us into and beyond industrial starch lines, high-quality cassava flour, animal feed ingredients, bioethanol, sorbitol, clean energy processing, seed systems and innovation centers, as well as a logistics and aggregation hub for the entire Middle Belt region.
Blessed Nasarawa State, this will be the first, I'll tell you, the first 10,000 hectares across this country.
The cassava processing plant has been added to the list of agro-processing facilities exploring agricultural resources in the state. Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
The Director General, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Dr. Mohammed Bulama, says University of Maiduguri Alumni Association is strengthening relationship with the institution's management towards investing in mentorship and academic excellence as part of efforts to project the university beyond Nigeria. Tokbe Alabi reports.
University of Maiduguri, popularly known as UNIMAID, was established in 1975 by the federal military government as part of the third National Development Plan to boost higher education in Nigeria. Active engagement of alumni association is always an indispensable asset capable of transforming the 50-year-old university, and the emergence of Baba Shetima Kukawa goes beyond individual achievement to lead the association's first elected executives in 15 years.
We need to align properly the status of our alma mater, which is very prestigious, and the status of the alumni of the University of Maiduguri, who today, by the grace of God, is represented by the person who is holding the office of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Each of you brings a unique experience and perspective, and together you embody the diversity, strength, and promise of our alumni body.
On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, I want to heartily congratulate you and wish you God's guidance.
For the DG Radio Nigeria, Dr. Mohammed Bulama, who doubles as the National Caretaker Committee Chair since 2023, that heralds the 11-man team.
We will mobilize our members, their expertise and resources to ensure that we support the university, which is our alma mater.
Because with the caliber of the new ESCO on ground, I'm very certain that we will do the job.
This inauguration marks a defining moment that reflects collective resolve to build a resilient alumni association capable of transforming UNIMAID into a living institution and ensure its long-term survival and relevance. In Abuja, Tokbe Alabi, NTA News.
All right, if you recall at the start of the bulletin, we told you that President Bola Tinubu will be departing the Federal Capital Territory. Well, he has departed Abuja to embark on a one-day official visit to Yola, Adamawa State. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, who has just returned from the African Union Summit in Addis Ababa, was on ground to bid farewell to his principal as the President and his entourage took off from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at about 20 minutes past noon. The Adamawa trip is coming less than 48 hours. He made a similar visit to Kebbi. Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nanuga, stated that during the visit, President Tinubu will inaugurate a project executed by the state government. And that concludes Panorama. Thank you for being part of it. Do have a beautiful day ahead.